While K-drama main couples are mostly super adorable, many times it's the second lead couples that endeared us to the show. Since we have already discussed scene-stealing K-drama second lead couples, now it's time to dig into the ones that aren't quite as heart-fluttering. Wait no more, because here are the couples so annoying you want them out. Number 1. Forecasting Love and Weather, Han Ki-jun and Chae Yoo-jin. Also known as Weather People, this K-drama series is all about sneaky romances in a weather forecasting station. Now, while the main couple, played by Song Kang and Park Min-young, exudes chemistry, the same can't be said about the second lead couple between Han Ki-jun and Chae Yoo-jin. For starters, Han Ki-jun was a long-term lover of Ha-kyung, or Park Min-young's character. They were to be married and had already sent out invitations, only for Ki-jun to betray Ha-kyung at the last possible moment, and hooked up with Yoo-jin, another girl. Meanwhile, Yoo-jin used to date the male lead Chi-woo, even living together with him. She was obsessed with the idea of landing herself a comfortable life, and thus lured in Han Ki-jun, who she thought was wealthy and had his own house. However, after Yoo-jin and Ki-jun got married, they got a wake-up call from reality. Ki-jun isn't rich, and Yoo-jin isn't the perfect wife. Instead of trying to fix their problems, they became fixated on their exes, who had now started dating. Honestly, it was just pure annoying to watch these two strut around, butting their nose into the main couple's business. Ki-jun, in particular, seemed to think the female lead was entitled to him, just because they dated for a long time. He cheated on her, canceled their wedding, married another woman, and yet he can't stand the female lead getting another man. At times, I can't stand looking at his face, and it didn't help that his wife is also not a good person. Number 2. Because This Is My First Life, Sim Won-sok and Yang Ho-rang. Now, contrary to the other cases, Min-sok and Ho-rang are neither annoying nor evil people. They're just an off-putting couple. Right from the beginning, we see hints of the two's on and off relationship. What's with them constantly breaking up and getting back together, year after year. Now, Ho-rang is a friend of the female lead, who works as a hostess at a restaurant/bar. Her biggest wish is to become a wife and mother, so she constantly expects her longtime boyfriend Won-sok to propose to her. Unfortunately, Won-sok is the CEO of a startup company. The title may sound fancy, but he never managed to get investors, was constantly lacking money, and was looked down by others in the field. As a result, he is reluctant to all forms of familial commitments, and doesn't seem too fond of the idea of marriage. The two different mindsets cause Won-sok and Ho-rang to fight all the time. Sure, they have their sweet and cute moments, but after a while, it gets uncomfortable to see Ho-rang being mad, Won-sok being mad back, and them kissing while never resolving their problems. In fact, I had been glad to see them finally break up, thinking that they will take new steps in their lives. It was pretty upsetting to see the two getting back together just before the series ended, without working any of their issues out. Ho-rang still dreams of being motherly one day, while Won-sok looks against getting children. Compared to the other two couples of the series, between Se-hee and Ji-ho and between Suchi and Sang-gu, this couple just feels lacking and extremely childish. Number 3. Doom at Your Service, Cha Ju-ik and Na Ji-na. You know, Doom at Your Service, despite following the classic fantasy K-drama trope, had actually been quite an oddball. Instead of having a love triangle surrounding the female lead, we actually got one that revolves around the second female lead, which made for a pretty nice change. Now, I absolutely adore our second female lead, Ji-na, but I have to say, while her love story was extremely intriguing at first, it eventually became bland. Let's not discuss the other piece of the love triangle, Hyun-kyu, because he's absolutely not boyfriend material, except maybe at the very end. This, however, doesn't make the romance between Ju-ik and Ji-na better, because he and Hyun-kyu just fought over Ji-na as if she was a prop. There was also the issue of Ju-ik and Ji-na's pity kiss, which, no matter how much time has passed, still sits uncomfortably in my mind. Like, he just kissed a girl in tears, who he had never met, with the thought of driving her mind away from her boyfriend? Isn't that, like, borderline creepy? Also, it didn't help the case that the bubbly fun Ji-na simply lost all her charms while interacting with her love interest, and looked extremely uninterested while at that. Like, sure, the guy she picked was a nice and sexy eye candy guy, the relationship had its bright moments, but compared to the actually convincing main couple, I just find this entire storyline unnecessary. Number 4. So I Married an Antifan, Choi Jae-jun and Oh In-hyung. Now, if Ju-ik and Ji-na had just been bland, then our next second lead couple is heading straight into toxic land. Like, I literally have nothing positive to say about these two as a couple, except the 2 times that they smiled in each other's presence, and the fact that they both look gorgeous. As the CEO of an entertainment company, Jae-joon just seems to have way too much free time, and is always stalking his lover. Meanwhile, In-hyung only cares about attention, and whenever the two share a scene, they are always frowning, scorning, or at least look mildly annoyed. Both are incredibly jealous over everything, super selfish. And if I had a list of every toxic trait that you could find in a K-drama character, then this couple is going to tick off the entire thing. Like jealous handpull? Check. Physical violence? Check. Being dismissive of each other's feelings and manipulating each other's actions? Also check. And the worst thing is that these two do not get better over time. They will neither have decent character development, nor at least apologize for each other's mishaps. Instead, this couple, quote, continuously descend into madness, unquote, in a manner as ridiculous as an ancient soap opera way. I guess you will find them interesting if you want a dramatic flair in on-screen relationships. But other than that, they neither add to the drama, nor make the ride at all enjoyable. Finally, we are arriving at today's last shitty supporting couple, made up of 2 characters so unreasonable they made my eyes roll. That's right, it's none other than a business proposal. Lee Min-woo and Gu Yu-ra. You know, I tried to think the best of all characters, and despite having read the original webtoon, I was under the impression that the female lead's 7-year unrequited crush, aka Chef Min-woo, would be a good guy. Unfortunately, our quirky and hardworking Shin-hari seems to have bad taste, since Lee Min-woo turns out to be quite the questionable boyfriend. The guy had been seeing his girlfriend Yu-ra for ages, had recently gotten back with her, and even sent a message to our female lead that he hoped she would get a boyfriend. And yet, instead of being glad for Hari when she actually nailed herself for a guy, Min-woo became upset and jealous, despite already being in a relationship. He seemed to think of Hari as a tail that would always follow him, would forever be his best friend, and would forever hold feelings for him. He tried to demean her by saying she could not have attracted a guy as nice as the male lead Tae-moo, and tried to show off against him. Adding to all of that, his girlfriend Yu-ra was really no better. She's jealous of Hari, which is understandable since her boyfriend keeps looking at another girl. However, she acts like a jerk, keeps repeating that Hari couldn't land a guy, becomes mad whenever Hari gets nice things, and keeps talking in her dismissive passive-aggressive tone. Well, I have to say I have mad respect for the 2 actors that portrayed these 2 characters. As one expression from them, and I already want to punch the light out of them. They should stay together and save the rest of the world from ever having to date them. That's for sure. And that's it. Do you agree with our list? Do you often find K-drama supporting couples cute or annoying? Or know of any other cases where the supporting couple probably shouldn't be in the show? Feel free to let us know in the comment section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to Polydrama. See ya!